Are you going to run for office one day?
Yes.
Good. So I totally agree with you, and I support every and any measure to improve the ability for people to vote, to make it, easy registration, no excuse absentee, to level all the barriers that exist. The Republicans are still trying to erect more, and yet I am completely on the same page as you. That's why I think 2018 is really, it's going to be very important that we run the tables in 18. We're going to, that we win the governor's office, that we win the attorney general's office, that we win the secretary of state's office. And just by winning those three, although I'm not willing to say that we need to stop there, we got to take back the House. But we can do a lot to improve the ability for people to vote, which is a long-term benefit to the people having the voice back in our legislature. So I absolutely endorse, probably any other ideas you have with regard to voting rights as well, and opening it up for young people for all people to exercise their right.
Yeah, I was just going to say thank you for being here. My comment before the gentleman spoke was, we really need to reach out and mentor and welcome the young people. Other meetings, not so much this one, but other Democratic meetings I've been in, have had a lot of young people offering their service, not always getting chosen because the old guard gets reelected. And I really think that we can't just, I don't know, so I need to move on. But I really think it's an affirmative action on all of our parts to find 18, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, and welcome them into an active role in this party, or we're just put a dot in the box.
Well, I would suggest they run. So Nicole Beatty ran. Women, for whatever reason, need more encouragement to think about running than men do. When we were born, we don't think we're going to take over the world immediately. Sometimes it takes someone to plant a seed. So I'm always trying to encourage women to think about running. When I was in the House, I won my special election to go over the Senate. And when I was sworn in, I was one of 12 women, Michigan's historic high, right? We had 12 women out of a 38-member body, and we high-fived. Republicans and Democrats alike, like all women, were thrilled that we hit that high watermark. In the next election, just a few months later, because it was a March election, so the next November election, our ranks fell to 8. And then the term that I took my oath as the leader, I looked around the room and realized that there were more men named John than women. There were only 4 women. There were 5 men named John. And it changed the whole complexion of the place, because you know that when you hit a third, that's when you have a environmental critical mass, right? You change the environment. To go back down to 4th, it turns back into a locker room mentality, where one of my colleagues got mad at a woman lobbyist and called her a hooker because he didn't like what she was saying about a bill that he had introduced. So I'm always trying to encourage young people to run, but also, especially women, we need more women to run for office. We champion different issues, we lead in a different way, and we're all benefited because there's a more diverse group of people sitting around the table. When I was the House member, I was the ranking Democrat on appropriations, which meant I got to run all the budget bills for Governor Granholm. And when we would have our highest level meetings, the top 9 people in state government, you would have the leader and the appropriations person from each of the 4 caucuses. So you have the speaker and the appropriations member from each of the Republican and Democratic caucus, and same with the House. And at the end of the table, you'd have the governor. So when those meetings were taking place, I would be sitting next to my leader, who was Diane Byram, the first woman to lead a House caucus. And sit across from Shirley Johnson, Republican senator from this area, who was the head of appropriations in the Senate. And at the head of the table was Governor Jennifer Granholm. So out of 9 people sitting there, 4 were women. When I was the leader in the Senate, I was the only woman sitting at that table. And when those meetings happen now, there's no one. There's not even a person of color. Think about that. I tell people all the time, they say the 5 most stressful things that happen to you in your life are getting married, starting a new job, having a baby, moving your home, the death of a loved one. All 5 of those things happened to me my first term in the State House. I was taking care of my mother at the end of her life, her battle with brain cancer. I had just had my daughter 2.5 months before my mom died. I was in my first term, so I started a new job. I don't know why I moved those 2 years, but I did. You know, that experience didn't change my values, but it changed the fact that I have no patience for waiting to fight and to give voice for things that need to be given. You know, women care for people at the beginning of their lives and at the end. Some men do it too, but by and large it's done by women. And so our voices at those tables not just benefits us, you know, it's not just women's issues, it benefits the sons that we're raising and the fathers we're caring for as well. So, not many people at the same time worried about where they were going to pump their milk and how to write their parents' end of life plan. But yes.
About a year ago, Governor Snyder announced a commission to look at where education is going to be in the 21st century. The 21st Century Education Commission just reported out their report, about 150-page report, last Friday. Have you had a chance to look at it yet? It's brand spanking new.
I just got off of a conference call on it because I've seen the top lines and I've seen some of the press coverage, but I have not read the whole report.
I have a copy of it online if you'd like to see it. But
Actually,
so where do you see education going over the next 10 or 20 years? And how, with people in the legislature like Representative Kelly, can you really effectuate any of this kind of change?
So education, you know, I started off talking about how education, we used to present, you know, we used to offer the finest education on the planet was Michigan education, and now we lag the rest of the country, much less the world. I think we need to make a massive investment in education. I think we need to treat educators and support staff in education as professionals. Show them the respect that they deserve, because no one goes into and you know, my grandmother taught in Waterford schools. My grandfather was superintendent of Pontiac schools. My mother taught in Lansing schools. And my daughter told me the other day that she wants to become a teacher. And you know, I was so proud and concerned at the same time. Because I know what a disservice we've done to people that choose to go into teaching. And no one goes into teaching because it's lucrative. They go into teaching because they love, it's a passion, it's a calling, it's, you know, they love to mold the young minds of the future. Like, we should treat teachers like professionals, and we've lost our way. So, I also firmly believe that, and the science bears out that the first 1,000 days of anyone's lives are the most important. They determine what your lifetime health is going to be, what your lifetime earnings are going to be. And we are missing so many kids because they don't ever have an educational opportunity until they show up in kindergarten. So I would start by saying that we need to have universal, high-quality, early childhood education for every kid.
And that was one of the recommendations.
And I've been saying it before the report came out all the time. You know, but treating teachers like a profession and educators, ensuring that every kid actually is reading by 3rd grade, and not with penalty of being held back, but with additional support to ensuring they're successful. And I adamantly oppose the governor's plan to close schools at the bottom 5%. I think it's inherently flawed to say every year you're going to close the worst 5% because you're always going to have a 5%. Like it's just nonsensical. But on top of it, to abandon kids in these public schools where other states who are successful invest more in schools that are struggling. They don't just close shop. And so Massachusetts, I think, is doing things really well. I'd like to see it.
One of the things they do, though, is not just depend on the Department of Education to fix their turnaround school. There's an integration at the state level between health and human services, social work, mental health, all of those things. And it's integrated across. I just testified to the Health and Human Services approach to all their committee members to talk
how do you work with, he won't be there, Speaker Leonard, who's one of the top priorities to eliminate Common Core, Representative Kelly, who's the head of education reform and education approach, who really wants to go with vouchers and would love to have destroyed DPS. How do you work with someone like that, and how do you find common ground to actually get some of your policies implemented?
I think we run on an